Have you ever wondered why babies are so fascinated with peekaboo? You see, it's more than just a game. It's more than giggles and tiny hands hiding faces. It's a lesson in absence and presence. It's a quiet question wrapped in laughter. Will you come back when I can't see you? You see, to an infant, when something disappears, it's not hiding, it's gone. It's out of sight, out of existence. So when you play peekaboo with a baby, you're not just being playful, you're performing a disappearing act, at least to that child's mind. To that child's mind, you vanish and then you rise again. That's why it's so fascinating. It's not the reveal they love, it's the reassurance that you come back, that you didn't stay gone. But here's the problem. What happens when the game doesn't end? What happens when love disappears and never returns? That's when the fear begins. That's when the story of emotional permanence, or the lack of it, starts to shape everything. You see, a psychologist studied infants around 8 months old and found something interesting. They found that when something disappears, babies stop searching because to them, if it's gone, it no longer exists. That's called object impermanence. But there is a deeper layer most of us never learned, and that is emotional impermanence, you see, or lack of emotional permanence. The belief that someone's love continues even when it isn't visible, verbal, or loud. Attachment theory teaches us this, that children raised with consistent nurture and presence learn that people come back. They develop a calm, steady thread of trust. But those raised in silence, chaos, and inconsistency learn something totally different. They learn that love lives, that presence is a performance, that affection has a clock, and when it runs out, I vanish with it. And that's Jordan. That's how the thread unravels. That's how the soul learns to question love the second it grows quiet. So fast forward. You're not a baby anymore, but your nervous system still plays peekaboo. You send a text, there's no reply. You reread the message. You stare at the screen like it holds the verdict on your worth. The silence feels sharp, personal, almost violent, and maybe you've been told you're too sensitive or too needy. But what if you're not too needy? You're just unanchored. You were never taught how to trust a love that's quiet. Research confirms this, that adults with anxious or avoidant attachments don't just struggle with relationships, they struggle with absence, with silence, with stillness. Because deep down, silence sounds like goodbye. And that's not immaturity, that's unhealed training. That's the ache of the missing thread. Listen, I need you to get this. People disappear, feelings fade, but God doesn't play peekaboo. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Even if my father and mother abandon me, the Lord will hold me close. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? You see, God's love doesn't vanish when you stop sensing it. He doesn't need light on to stay. He stays in the silence. He stays in the shadows. He stays when everyone else walks away. His love is not insecure. It's not performative. It's not fragile. It's permanent. And He wants to rebuild that thread in you, because you were trained to panic when love goes quiet, to see silence as danger, to treat distance like abandonment, and now you confuse peace with punishment. Stillness feels like betrayal, and when someone stops speaking, your whole body prepares for war. And that's not overreacting, that's survival. That's history trying to protect you. That's your soul bracing for the next vanishing act. But Jordan, the quiet is not your enemy. What if, bear with me, what if it's the first time your heart is actually safe enough to hear itself think? Because here's the truth, love isn't loud when it's mature. It doesn't need to shout to stay. It doesn't need to be seen to be real. And God, He doesn't need noise to be near. So maybe you're not being ignored. Maybe you're actually being invited. Invited to believe that love can still be still and secure. That absence doesn't mean abandonment. It means trust has a room to breathe. You are waiting for a sign, but God is waiting for your stillness. You're asking for a proof. He's giving you presence. The silence isn't empty, it's sacred. It's God rebuilding what your childhood tore down. The belief that you're still loved when no one's looking. The belief that you're still safe when no one's talking. The belief that you're still chosen even when heaven whispers instead of shouts. You don't have to perform to be pursued. You don't have to panic to be protected. You don't have to beg to be beloved. You are already held, already seen, already enough, even now.